guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I'm so excited for today's video. I literally say that every single time, but there truly is nothing better than a bookshelf reorganization video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys didn't watch my recent video where I completely redecorated my entire bedroom and added all of my furniture and everything, definitely go watch that first, because in that video I did add 2 of these little Billy bookcases to my bookshelf setup to create this little rounded corner, and that was just such a cute little fun video. I'd been waiting like a year to make that video and redecorate my room, so it was just a lot of fun. So this is kind of like part 2 to that video, because we are finally going to be reorganizing and also adding decorations to my bookshelf for the very first time. So I'm like extra excited because the entire time that I have like had books, I haven't really decorated my bookshelves. Like I've just like organized with books, but now I have recently gotten into blind boxes and like pop mart boxes, so I have quite a few to add to the shelves. I also have like this little disco ball thing that I want to add onto the shelves and a couple other like little decorating things. So I don't know, I'm just really excited because I feel like my bookshelves are going to look quite a bit different than they ever have before. And also obviously I get to decorate these little corner shelves, which I'm so excited about. I am so glad that I added these corner shelves to the bookcases because I feel like it completely changed the vibe of the room. Like now I feel like I just live in a cozy, cute little library, and it is honestly the best thing ever. Every single day I come and lay in bed and I just like stare up at the bookcases and I just love it in here. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm so excited. So last time that I reorganized my shelves, I think it was like 5 or 6 months ago, whenever I very first got the shelves, I mentioned that there are so many books on my bookshelves that I have not embossed. So like half of my books are embossed and then half of them aren't. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'll probably do it in a weekly vlog, or like I'll do it some other time. Never did it. It's fully been like 5 or 6 months and I've still not caught up on embossing any of my books. So I'm like going back and forth on if I want to try and do that today. I feel like the main reason that I'm like conflicted on that is because I can't decide if I want to continue embossing the actual pages of the book, or if I want to get like some cute stickers and emboss the stickers and then stick those on the inside of the book. And I could do like either gold stickers, or I could do like pink stickers and I could emboss that and like stick it in the book. So I don't know, I'm conflicted on that because I don't want to go through and emboss all the pages just to change my mind and then do stickers anyway. So we'll see about that. I'm like 50-50 right now on if I want to do that, but I think regardless, step 1 is going to be just taking everything off of the bookshelves so that I can have a completely clean slate and just like start fresh. I do think that there are a few bookshelves that I want to keep the same, even if they're not like on the same exact shelf as they are right now. I like the layout of the books. There's like probably 2 or 3 shelves where I'm just like, every time I look at that shelf, I love the way that the books are lined up on that one. So I'm thinking that there are at least 2 or 3 shelves that are going to stay exactly the same like layout wise, but other than that, I want to just like completely change up everything else. Obviously I have these 2 little shelves that are going to create a lot of extra space that I didn't have before, so it's going to be interesting to see how all of my bookshelves kind of like disperse throughout all that extra space as well. But yeah, step 1 is going to be taking everything off and also dusting off the shelves, because it's been probably like 2.5 months since I have given the shelves a good wipe down and dusting, because I was doing my like monthly wrap ups and I've kind of fallen off on that. I need to like get back on that immediately, but they are definitely due for a dusting. They're like honestly kind of gross. So we're gonna take everything off, dust off the bookshelves. When I take everything off, I'm gonna try not to let it get too chaotic. I say that now, but like it's probably gonna get chaotic. But when I take everything off, I am going to try and keep it somewhat separated, like sports romances together, regular romances together, fantasy. I don't know how to separate fantasy because it's all just like fantasy. So I don't know how that's not gonna get confusing. This happens to me every single time I do my bookshelves. I'm like, I can do it organized and like it's only gonna take 2 or 3 hours, and then I'm like 8 hours in and I'm overwhelmed. Everything is all over the place. It's like an ADHD explosion. So we'll see if today is any different. I doubt it, but a girl can try. Okay. Anyway, I am ready to get started on the shelves. I do want to do a quick mention. I obviously am going to be listening to an audiobook today while I reorganize the bookshelves. I feel like I talk about it all the time, especially as an ADHD girly. Audiobooks have completely changed my life because I feel like they almost function as a form of body doubling for me. It kind of just like, I don't know what it is, but it really does help me be more productive whenever I'm listening to something. I think it's just like the fact that my mind has something else to focus on, and it's almost like I have company while doing other things. I don't know how to explain it, but it has been an absolute game changer for me. So anytime that I have literally anything to do, I'm putting on an audiobook. For today, I think the one I'm going to start off with is Notes on Infinity by Austen Taylor. I actually received an audiobook arc for this one a few weeks ago, and then I completely forgot that I had it, and I'm pretty sure it is released. So I really want to to finish listening to it and review it because I do feel bad that they approved me for it and then I like literally forgot that I had it. And it does sound really interesting. I feel like it is a little bit different than books that I typically go for, but like I'm always all for trying new things and getting out of my comfort zone because I feel like if you don't try it, you might be missing your next favorite thing and you just like never even know because you weren't willing to give things a try, if that makes sense. So the synopsis for this one says Harvard students Zoe and Jack find themselves propelled into the intoxicating biotech startup world when they announce that they've discovered a cure for aging. Zoe, the daughter of an MIT professor who grew up in her brother's shadow, can envision her future anew at Harvard University. Jack, a boy in Zoe's organic chemistry class with unruly hair and a gleam of competitiveness, matches her intellect and curiosity with every breath. When Jack refers Zoe for a position in a prestigious professor's lab, the two become entwined as colleagues, staying up late discussing scientific ideas. They find themselves on the cusp of a breakthrough, the promise of immortality through a novel anti-aging drug. Zoe and Jack set off on their new project in secret. Finding encouraging results, they bring their work to an investor, drop out of Harvard, and form a startup. But after the money, the magazine covers, and the national news stories detailing their success, Zoe and Jack receive a startling accusation that threatens to destroy both the company that they built and their partnership. So I don't know, I feel like I typically go for like more fantasy, more romance, and this is kind of like more academia, I feel like, vibes. But like I said, I'm never opposed to trying new things, and the synopsis does sound really, really interesting, especially because they're studying like anti-aging and things like that. And I feel like there's going to be like some kind of drama, some kind of tea that comes with them working together. And obviously like a startling accusation comes out once they are like really successful for their work and stuff like that. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be listening to today. I'm already like 6 chapters in and it's going really good. It's starting off a little bit slow, but I am intrigued by the characters. I'm just trying to get through some of the setup so we can get more into like the actual plot of the story. But yeah, that is what I'm going to be listening to for now while I am reorganizing the bookshelves. So let's get started with step 1 of reorganizing the bookshelves. Take everything off and dust off the shelves. Gotten all the books off of the bookshelf, obviously, as we can see, and I feel like my plan is already kind of out the window because now that I see all of the books on the bed, I literally like don't feel like I can move them around to separate them into like different sections and genres to try and keep it organized. Like as I was taking books off, I immediately was like, this is not gonna work. Like there's not gonna be enough room. I clearly have a lot more books than I realized and a lot more books since I first organized my bookshelves 6 months ago. So there's that. It does feel so weird to see like the entire bookshelves all together emptied out because I haven't seen it like this yet since we have installed the other 2 little units, but it actually has made me really excited to get the books back on there. I kind of was like dreading this just because I feel like I did not have the energy to do it, but now that I've started, it's like making me really excited. But I had 2 things. So one, this is the piles. Like, this is what it's gonna be because I simply just don't have any more room to separate them further than what it is right now. The second thing I wanted to update on is embossing the books. As I was taking all of the books down, I was just trying to think like, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to emboss them? Do I want to get stickers? Like, I need to just make a decision on what to do. I think I am going to order some stickers and I'm gonna see what they look like in person and like try it on a few because I feel like I'm leaning in that direction. So like, I just want to at least give it a try it out first to see if I like the stickers with the like embossing on it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a picture on screen because I feel like, does anyone even know what I'm referring to? If you didn't, now you do. So I think I'm going to order both gold, pink, I don't know. I'm just going to order a couple different options, I guess, and see them in person. And then whatever I like the best, I'm just going to do that on all of my books, even the ones that I have already previously embossed, just so that they're all like uniform. I know it does not matter, but in my brain, if I know that they're not all like matching, it's really going to bother me. So that's why this thing that is not a big deal has become a big deal in my brain. And now I'm like, it's like the hardest decision ever. But anyway, that is what I've decided on. I'm going to order those and then hopefully pretty soon I'll have an update for you guys on like what I'm going to do with the books and we will do it together. But yeah, those are my updates. I think I'm just going to start putting things on the shelf because like I said, there are a couple of shelves that I want to like have pretty much the same, I think. So I am going to start off with those shelves because I feel like obviously that's the easiest to start off with. I already kind of know what I want for those shelves. I did take a picture of them before I took all the books off, so I'm just going to like reference the picture and try them on a few different shelves, I think. I'm also going to put up the Lego. I have like the Lego Twilight Colon house, and then I have the Ideas cabin, or I don't really know what it's called, but it's just like the little Lego cabin. So I am going to wipe those off, dust those off, and then put those back up where I think they want to go. That way I can like also put the books around them and like see how much space I'll have next to them, I guess. I think I'm also going to pick a shelf that I think I want the little disco ball piece to go on. That it might change once the sun goes down if it's not getting enough sunlight as I want, but I'm going to put it like where I think will be good, at least for the summertime sunset. I might have to like move it in the winter, but I'm going to start with that. The 2 to 3 bookshelves that I think I want to reuse from my last setup. And then also I want to take all of my book of the month books and take them with the dust jacket off and put them up just as like the naked hardback. Literally 6 to 8 months ago, I was watching, actually, I don't know how long ago it was. It feels like a really long time ago. I was watching someone else's bookshelf reorganization video on YouTube and she put all of her book of the month books up with no dust jackets. And for some reason, I just like loved the way it looked, but I've never done it on my own shelves. But every single time that I look at my little book of the month section, I like picture the way that hers looked and like think, oh my gosh, I still really want to do that. So I'm at least going to take them all off and give them a try. And I'm going to leave it up for like at least a few weeks just to like give it a solid try and like see if I like it, because I really liked the way that hers looked. But you know, sometimes it's different when it gets on your own shelves. So yeah, I'm going to do my book of the month shelf. Again, where I put that might not be where it ends up at the end of this video. I feel like it's all just trial and error. So yeah, I'm just going to start getting those few shelves up, the couple of decorations up, and then we'll go from there and see how I'm feeling about everything. And I'll just update you then. Okay. Okay. We have made pretty good progress. I feel like these are the main shelves that I'm like for sure about. I love the way that the Book of the Month books look without the covers on right now, so I'm definitely going to be leaving those for a while, at least I think right now, because I don't know, I just love the way it looks. I think it looks so cute and just like so clean and nice on the shelf. So what we have going on so far is obviously Book of the Month shelf. This shelf and these two corner shelves right now are all sports romances. That's one thing that like whenever I organized the shelf before, I really liked a lot of the bookshelves, but all of my romance was kind of like spread all over the place. So that was one thing that I was thinking about. Like, I want to try and have, I think, most of the romance books on this shelf. I'm not 100% sure on that because I feel like I do want a couple of the curved shelves to maybe have some romantic series or something. Honestly, I don't know, but I do really like that all of this sports romance is all together. I do have 3 more sports romance books that didn't fit on these shelves though, so like that's kind of bothering me because now those 3 sports romances are going to be like the only other sports romances that are not on that shelf. I don't know. I'll just try and figure that out when the time comes. That's a problem for future Hallie. I also did end up moving first the Twilight set, I think started out on like this or this shelf. Then I moved it over here and I just was not liking it in the corner there. And then I ended up moving it up here, which I originally thought I wouldn't like because obviously the Lego cabin is right here. So I thought maybe it would look weird to have both of those like on the same shelf, only one apart from each other. But I'm really liking how this is looking so far. So really like this. And then I just have my little Lord of the Rings set right here. I don't know if that will stay there, but so far I feel like I like that right there. Literally, I just keep putting stuff on the shelf and then I walk all the way over to my door to like stare at it for like 5 minutes and see if I like the vibe. And then I come back over here and I like make a little adjustment and then I go stare at it for 5 minutes and see if I like it. So far I am liking it. I'm kind of struggling. I don't know if you remember what it looked like before. I'll put a picture on the screen of the one shelf that I'm struggling to figure out where I want to put. It's the shelf that I had like all of my Fourth Wing copies of. I think I also had like all of my Rebecca Ross books up there. I think I had the Powerless series up there. So like a lot of my favorite fantasies and romances were on the shelf and I just loved the way that shelf looked. And I think it was right here before, but obviously I've since got a bed frame and so like my bed's a little bit higher. I was considering putting it up here, but then I feel like I don't want it to be too high. So then I was considering putting it over here, but that just feels a little bit to the left. So then I'm like, should I just put it right here again? Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait to put that one up because I just don't know where I want it. Maybe that means I should put it up. I don't know. There's just so many fantasy books specifically that I haven't read yet. So like, I don't know if they're a favorite or not yet. You know, like I want them out and displayed because they're books that I think I will love, but like a lot of them it's just really hard because I have not read them yet, or I bought them so long ago that it's like I don't even remember what the plot of the book was, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, but I think that honestly I'm just I'm thinking too hard into it, which story of my life. But yeah, we're making good progress so far. I really like it. I still am gonna keep this shelf down here, I think, as my like TBR / books read shelf. It is a little bit low now, but what's a girl to do? So far it's going good though. I do think that I'm going to try and stick to having these 3 shelves at least probably be romance shelves, I think, and then everything else will be like mainly fantasy because I read so much fantasy. I love fantasy. So I don't know, those are my thoughts. Honestly don't have that many thoughts. I'm just like a little bit stressed. So yeah, let's keep going. I think my next step is going to be to just start kind of putting books where I think they might want to go and shuffling around. Now that I have these ones like set, like these were the main shelves that I kind of had in my mind, like okay, this is how I want to do it and whatever, and I just like I wanted to see it in real life and not just in my imagination. So now that I've gotten those out and they're like on the shelves, I think I just need to like, when I have an idea, I'm just gonna set it up there and see if I like it. And it's just gonna be a lot of shuffling back and forth. But yeah, I think we have like, time is it? We have like 2 hours until the sun sets. Do we think I can do it in 2 hours? No, but let's try. Okay, hello. I think that this is where I'm going to leave the books for now. The last thing that I need to do is go through and add all my little decorations, which I'm so excited to add on. I've already added a couple of things like the disco ball, that little wood bookend, which I found at a TJ Maxx. If you've never looked at TJ Maxx for like stuff for your bookshelf, you should, because I feel like I'm always seeing really cute stuff there. But yeah, I added stuff like that already. I guess the only other like decorative things so far, like the Lego things, but now I'm going to add a few more things. But I wanted to really quickly show you guys what some of the things I might put on my shelf are exactly, because I know a few weeks ago I mentioned in a video that I was starting to collect little Pop Mart figures and like do blind boxes, and I have opened quite a few more and I haven't really shown them on the vlog, so I want to really quickly, just like super quick, show you guys some of the little figures that I have gotten recently that I want to put onto the shelves. I'm just like so obsessed with these things. Like, they're actually so cute. I just love them. This is much better. Okay, so this is probably one of my favorite figures that I've collected so far. I don't really need to explain this one. This is just the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That one and this little ghost are probably like my two favorite figures that I own right now. They're just so cute. I've gotten this little Nyota figure, and this one's actually really cute. The cat is like stretching and it goes in the little house in the top of her head. That's so cute. This honestly is probably in my top 3 as well. This was the first Nyota figure that I ever got, and I think it's so cute. I'm actually obsessed with that one. I got this one recently. I have 2 little Mofusand cats. I have this little crying fox, and then I have this little shark that reminds me of Marky, and then one little Miffy. So yeah, those are all the little figurines. And then I also got some battery operated candles. This was heavily inspired by Bestie Emmy. She has so many little candles on her bookshelves, and I just feel like it always looks so cute. And also, reading at night, I feel like it will enhance the like reading ambiance. So I'm very excited to get those on the shelves and try those out for a cozy night of reading tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to like show you guys real quick what I was putting on the shelves, because they'll just be in the background of videos and I don't ever like explain what they are. And I've had people comment like, oh, what is that? That's what it is, just in case you're curious. I'm sure over time I will be adding more to the bookshelves because I'm just simply obsessed. But anyway, the sun is setting, so I want to really quickly put these little figurines, candles, decorations onto the shelf. And then honestly, I will probably see you guys tomorrow and we'll do a final overview of the shelf, because it's getting dark and I'm tired from doing this all day. So let's do that and I'll see you guys tomorrow. It has actually been a few days since I finished the bookshelves. I just wanted to give myself a little bit of time to just like stare at them and make sure that I actually liked them, see if there was like any little random changes that I wanted to make. And I did change around things on, I think like 2 or 3 of the shelves. I like just made some little adjustments, but I will show you guys. But yeah, now that it's been a few days and we have officially cleaned, reorganized, and decorated the bookshelf, it is now time to do the official little bookshelf tour. I'm not going to do a full like in-depth bookshelf tour where I talk about every single book on my shelf and like favorite books on each shelf, all of the special editions, things like that. If that is something that you guys want to see in a separate video where I literally just like, I could probably talk for at least an hour about like every single book on my shelf. That's why like I cannot let myself do that right now, because this video will just be way too long. If that's something you guys would like to see, please let me know, because I can definitely just stand here and just like yeah all day long about it. But anyway, I'm just gonna go shelf by shelf and kind of talk about what I did on each shelf, just to give you like a final rundown on like how the shelves are looking and an idea of what what all books are on my bookshelves. Okay, my mic just died, so I did have to stop and charge it real quick. I also moved you guys a little bit closer because I just felt like you were really far away. So let's get into the little mini bookshelf tour. Starting at the very top, the first shelf that I will mention is this little like unhaul shelf. I just like to have a spot to put books that I'm like considering unhauling, so if I need like extra time to think about it, I can have them up there and think about if I really want to unhaul them, but they're like kind of separated. So that's what I have up there. Most of those are just like duplicates right now. The next two shelves I have right here, those are my giveaway shelves. So those are books that I have been collecting to do giveaways with you guys for, which I know I've been talking about for so long. I am in the process of finalizing a few different things that I have been working on. Obviously, I have mentioned before in a couple of my weekly vlogs as a little Easter egg that I am planning on launching a book club, and there are kind of like two things that I'm also planning on launching alongside that. So with all of that, it's just like a lot of prepping, planning. I want to make sure I have all my eggs in a row, like all my, what is it called? My ducks in order or something. I don't know. I just want to make sure that everything is laid out nicely, everything looks nice, everything is fully functioning. But anyway, I will hopefully have more information for that coming soon. But basically these two shelves, I try to, whenever I get a special edition for myself, to get a second copy to do giveaways with. I'm not always able to do that because some of the special editions that I get are so expensive. It would be so hard to get to, but as much as I can and as much as I'm able to, I try to get two copies so I can also do a giveaway for you guys. Right now I have copies of Assistant and Apprentice to the Villain. I have Saving Six and Redeeming Six. I have A Novel Love Story, Deep End, Things We Never Got Over, In a Jam. And then I also have Powerful and Reckless. I do still need to get copies of Powerless and Fearless because my plan with that is to fully tab out every single one of those books that as you're reading along with it, kind of like see all the things that I tabbed. And also Reckless is signed. I brought that book to get signed by Lauren Roberts herself whenever I went to the release for Reckless. So that's my plan with that one. But yeah, those are those top shelves. So then moving along right here, I have my entire Harry Potter collection. That's literally the only thing on that shelf. I think that I do want to like pick a Harry Potter Lego to go on that shelf with it. I don't know what I want though. And I'm like, one, Legos are so expensive that I don't want to just like buy one just to buy one. So I'm gonna wait until I find one that I'm like, I really love, and I'm not gonna get tired of it, I guess, on the shelves after a while. So hopefully one day I will find a Harry Potter Lego to go up there. I really like the little Dobby one that's like holding a cake. I think that's just so cute. I also do really like the idea of having like the sorting hat. But yeah, I don't know. I did think about doing like the Hogwarts castle one, but I just don't know. That one's like a little bit plain. Like it's really cool that it's like the castle and stuff, but I just feel like I don't love the coloring on it, I guess, like aesthetically. So I don't know. We'll see. Staying in this shelf, I guess, we'll just like go down this area. Right underneath that, I have my Lord of the Rings set. I recently got these dust jackets from, I think it's from Nerdy Ink. But yeah, I have all of those, and then I have my paperback editions of Game of Thrones. I'm so excited to read these because I am obsessed with Game of Thrones. I have some Rachel Gillick books and then just more fantasy. Another Lego that I really want to buy is the, what is it called? I'll put a picture on screen, but it's like the ginormous Lord of the Rings set. That would be so pretty. I don't even think that that would fit on the shelves though. Like I would have to make them like uneven because I think it's too tall, which that would bother me. So I don't know if that will ever realistically end up on my bookshelves, but a girl can dream. That would be so cute next to my Lord of the Rings books, but I digress. Underneath that, I have this little section of, I guess this is kind of like, I don't know, like literary leaning for most of them. I mean, I know that Ninth House and Hellbent, I'm pretty sure that those are more dark academia, even fantasy, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know why I put these over here, to be honest. But yeah, the rest of these I'm pretty sure are mostly kind of like literary fiction. I know Babel, again, is like fantasy. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I feel like people are always like going back and forth in the comments every time that I talk about this book in any videos. On Goodreads, it's listed as a historical fiction, also a fantasy. So like, I just don't know where it goes. So I'm just putting it here for now. The only other one that I'm also unsure of on the shelf is The Berry Pickers, because that one says it's like a mystery thriller, but then also like literary fiction. So that one, again, like I don't know where it goes. And then I just have some of my favorite YA series right here. Obviously Heartless Hunter and Rebel Wit, both 5 stars, love those so much. And then I have all of the Powerless series right here. I love the way that these look. I think they're so cute. Then right underneath that, I have all of my Serpent and the Wings of Night copies. I have all the regular hardbacks, and then I have all of the Owl Crate ones that I've collected. I'm still missing the Owl Crate Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I want it so bad so I can complete this collection. I did also, side note, I did also order a copy of, I think it was The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and then The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, if I'm remembering correctly. I ordered those from Bookish Box like in December, and I genuinely, like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get those because it's like, what, 6 or 7 months later, and I have not gotten a single update on those books. I think I emailed them in like March or something, and I was like, hey, like, I was just wondering if there's any update at all because it's been like 4 months, and they were like, oh yeah, it's gonna like ship soon, and I'm like, I literally have not heard anything since then. Like, I don't know if I'll ever get those. I'll put a picture on screen though because they're so beautiful, and genuinely, like, The Serpent and the Wings of Night is one of my all-time favorite adult romantasy series. It's just so good. If you like vampire vibes, please read it. It's so good. It's actually so good, and I actually just got the art for the next book that's coming out. I'm so excited. So hopefully I'm able to like get out of my little slump and read that. I think I'm gonna do a video reading arcs coming soon. Question mark? Who wants to see that? Because I have a bunch of arcs that I need to read, but I'm just like afraid because I'm in a slump. Anyway, I have The Serpent and the Wings of Night here. Then I have the couple of Zodiac Academy books that I have so far. I'm slowly trying to collect the old covers. The reason that I have just 1, 2, 3, and then 8 is because I randomly found the 8th book at a used bookstore for a really good price, so I just got it even though I'm missing a bunch in the middle of that. It's what you got to do whenever you're collecting a series, you know? So I have those, and then I have the Assistant to the Villain and Apprentice to the Villain copies that I bought for myself. I think that these copies are so cute. That is the end of this bookshelf. Underneath that, all I have is an empty shelf where I keep my 2 little reading journals and then also my read it or unhaul it jar. Typically in that empty section, I will just keep my TBR for the month / books that I have read that month. Moving on to the next shelf, obviously we have my Twilight shelf. I recently got the Twilight Lego house. Mark got it for me for Mother's Day, so I built that and then put it next to my Twilight editions, which these are like one of my prized possessions. I think they're so cute. I always get so many comments asking where I got these. I got these from Katie Video, Kadi Video. There's that. I love them so much. One of my favorite covers from this set, honorable mention, is Breaking Dawn. Something about it. I mean, all the covers are beautiful. It's literally art, but I just love that cover so much. So moving on, underneath we have more fantasy books. First of all, we have all of the Hunger Games. I am missing the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I am missing that one. I need to find it. Then I have my Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I love these covers. I also have this little special edition set of Carval Legendary and Finale. I can't believe that I was able to find this, honestly, because I had wanted to buy this from this girl. It's just like a small business. They weren't for sale on her website anymore, and so I emailed her and asked her if they were ever going to come back into stock, like if there's a date that I should like mark on my calendar, and she was like, fortunately, I will never be printing these again. And I was like, oh my god, wow, like that sucks. I have been searching ever since I bought Carval for different dust jackets, and this was the first set that I found that I actually liked the dust jackets, but I was like, it's going to be impossible to find anyone who is selling these because I feel like it's easy to find resellers for special editions from like Owl Crate or Fairy Loot. Like you can find a really wide variety of prices and like find it for a good price, but because it was from such a small business, I was like, there's no way that anyone is going to be reselling these. Fast forward a month, I opened Pango Books and it says listed 1 hour ago or something, and I literally bought it so fast because I was like, there's no way, like there's actually no way. So yeah, love these so much. Then after that, we have my little ACOTAR series. I am missing the first and second one because my younger sister has the first one, my cousin has the second one. So if you're wondering where the first 2 books from that are in the background of videos, that is where they are. Right underneath that, I have more Sarah J Maas. I have all of Throne of Glass and then Crescent City, and then I have my Lego cabin next to it. The Lego cabin specifically reminds me of A Court of Mist and Fury. Love that. Underneath that, I have another little fantasy shelf. We have a bunch of Rebecca Ross books. We have a bunch of Holly Black books. This is kind of just like a favorites shelf. We have all of my different Fourth Wing copies. Then we have the Poppy War trilogy. That's the only thing on the shelf that I have not read yet. I'm very excited, but still like very nervous to read that trilogy. So underneath that, we have just again more fantasies. We have all of my Carrie Maniscalco books. We have Quicksilver, Fairy Tale, some Brandon Sanderson. One book that I'm really excited to read on this shelf is Long Live Evil. I think think that I want to like start that pretty soon. Very, very excited. I think that I'm going to do an immersive read with that one. I'm really, really excited. Moving on to the next shelf over here, obviously we have all of my book of the month books. I'm so glad that I decided to take all of the dust jackets off. I'm obsessed with the way it looks. I don't know if it will just be like a temporary thing and then I'll get tired of how it looks, but for right now, I'm just like, I think it looks so cute. So I did end up moving the disco ball back up because just from far away already over the course of a few days, it was just bothering me. I like the placement of it right here with like the other things going on in the shelf. So I let myself move it back and immediately I'm just like, I like it so much more up here. So this is where it's going to stay. It won't get as much sun, but the sun is only on the disco ball for like 20 minutes a day. And I'm like, I would rather enjoy it the rest of the day as well and it not bother me. So anyway, I have the disco ball right here. This entire shelf is just sports romance. This edition of Caught Up I randomly found on Instagram. I literally find so many things on Instagram, like I'll just be scrolling on my For You page. So yeah, I randomly found this edition of Caught Up and I thought it was so cute. Yeah, just a bunch of sports romance on this shelf. Then right underneath this, we have a little bit of spillover of sports romance that didn't fit up on the shelf. We have my what is this called? Oh, the Vancouver Storm series by Stephanie Archer. Top tier hockey romance books. After that, I have this special edition of Deep End, which I surprisingly really, really like. Again, it was another thing with the cover. I did not like the paperback that they did of Deep End. Something about the sprayed. I don't really like sprayed edges on paperbacks to begin with. Let me start with that. I just don't like it. I feel like I'm very, very picky with the sprayed edge books that I like and that I buy. I don't know, but like for me, I'm pretty sure there's like not a single special edition sprayed edge paperback that I have on my shelf because I just don't like sprayed edge paperbacks. Maybe I'll eat my words later on and find a paperback that I love with the sprayed edges on, but I don't know. I just think it looks cheap. Hot take. A very hot take, but I just don't like it. So whenever they were coming out with the Deep End editions, I was like, I'm not buying it. Like I can't find one without sprayed edges and I don't like it. I didn't even really like the cover. So I don't know. Very happy that I was able to get this though, because this I love. It's beautiful. I have a few more Ali Hazelwood books. I've read all of these except for Love on the Brain, so I'm excited to read that. I have a Tara DeWitt book. I did order a signed copy of Left of Forever. I bought tickets to like this virtual event. I just love that book so much and I just, so I did attend that virtual event and then alongside with it after the event was over, they send you a signed copy of the book. I don't know when that will be here because the book did release like 2 weeks ago now, so I'm kind of like gnawing at the bars of my enclosure to get my hands on that physical copy so that I can reread and annotate it because it's just so good. It's literally my favorite romance book. If you have not read it, please, I beg you. It's so good. But anyway, don't have that yet. I also did order some special editions of Tara DeWitt's books as well from, I think it was Eternal Embers or something. I will put a picture on screen. Cannot wait for those to get here. But yeah, for right now, I just have the one Tara DeWitt book. Then I have my little stack of Emily Henry books. Having them all be hardcover is so satisfying for me right now. The only one that I don't have in a hardcover is People We Meet on Vacation, which I did see that they're coming out with a hardcover version similar to Beach Read in the fall. So I will be grabbing that and then probably just unhauling my paperback edition. I just decided that Emily Henry to me is a hardback author. I do own Funny Story, but I lent that to my younger sister for her to read as well. So don't have that here with me. Then on this side, I just have more romance books. I have this special edition of A Novel Love Story. I really, really, really wanted to get the matching editions of The 7-Year Slip and The Dead Romantics, but I missed my alarm for the resale of the set and I'm so sad about it. Like that like still hurts my feelings. So I need to try and find a good price for The 7-Year Slip and The Dead Romantics, but those books are just resold for so much. So that one I'm just being patient on. I feel like for most of these special editions that I have bought secondhand, as long as I was patient enough, like I've always been able to find the books that I've wanted for like an insanely good price. It's just like you have to be consistently looking and then the second that you see a good deal, you have to jump on it. And I feel like that's how I've been able to somehow find a lot of the books that I'm looking for not an insane price, like very close to the original. I don't know what the word is, but like close to the original price of it basically. But anyway, this shelf underneath that, we just have another little romance shelf. I'm not like super obsessed with the way that this shelf looks, to be completely honest, but these are just a bunch of my leftover romance books. So that is what it is. Underneath that, again, just like more leftover type of books. All of these books on the left side are just like leftover fantasy books. Not like any of these are bad or anything. A lot of these I really, really loved or I'm very highly anticipating. It's just they were kind of left over where I just have like the first one in a series or the rest of the books are not out yet Yeah, or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what that is. Moving into this like corner section area. Firstly, up here I have special editions of the Bridge Kingdom and the Traitor Queen. I think that these editions are so beautiful. I love the design of the sprayed edges, especially whenever they are next to each other. I just think that they look so cute together. I don't know if I will be keeping these in the long run because whenever I bought those, they hadn't yet announced that they were going to be doing, I think it's just like a deluxe hardcover version of the entire Bridge Kingdom series, which I love the way that they're gonna look. I'll put it on the screen. I've talked about it in videos before. So I think once I collect all of those over time, obviously things like that is gonna take forever to collect because they're just gonna come out with one at a time, I'm assuming. I'm gonna do the same thing for Red Rising. They announced the deluxe hardcover for that one and it's just gorgeous. It's literally like art. So I think instead of having 2 sets of that series, unless I really just love it that much and I want 2 sets of it, I might just read them all on my Kindle and then slowly collect those as they come out. For now, love them. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. That is that right there. Then on this side, I have a very small collection. I literally have one manga, Fruits Basket, which one of you guys recommended. I still need to read that. I don't know why I haven't read it. I feel like I just like where it was on my bookshelf before, I would just always forget that I have it. And then I also have the first book in Lore Olympics. Very excited to read those. Those are my only 2 that are like specifically mine. Obviously, we have a lot more like comic books and mangas and graphic novels at the bottom, but those are all like marquees. So I don't know. Those are like my little pink girly ones. So I put them up there next to my little Miffy character. Right underneath that, I have all of my Boys of Tommen books. I have these paperbacks, which were like, I think they're called like the discreet cover or something. Bought those forever ago. Then I also have the special editions. I forget what book box actually did those, but it was a collab with Larry Reed's. I think they're so cute. And then I have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Binding 13 right in the middle. Underneath that, I have a little Elsie Silver shelf. This obviously is not going to fit once I get the rest of the copies. For now, it fits, and that's all that matters. These 2 are some of the most beautiful special edition covers. I just think that the character art like perfectly encapsulates the feeling of these books. I think that's so beautiful. So love that. Moving right along to the side here, we have a tiny little shelf of like holiday-esque type of reads. This section isn't specifically like Halloween. I feel like it's more so like fall-esque reads. I don't actually know if You Again is set in the fall, but it's full of leaves. Like that's giving fall. So that is why that went there. But yeah, I have all these here. I have my little Hirono ghost figure, which I think is so cute. That's one of my favorite ones that I own. Then I just have 3 little Christmas romance books. Don't own very many of those, but that is what I do own. So I thought it was cute to have a little separated section for like holiday / seasonal-esque books, I guess. Right underneath that, I have all of my Jessa Hastings books, and then I have a little section of Lucy Score books as well. I don't have these Lucy Score books singled out necessarily because I love them. I actually haven't read any of those yet. I just feel like those ones looked the best there standing on their own. So that is why those went there. Down underneath that, this kind of like corner and side of the shelf situation is all of my thrillers. I do eventually want to try and replace a lot of these to be hardcover because I just feel like I like my thrillers better in hardcover. I don't know. It's just something that my brain decided and now I can't undo it. So eventually I will do that. But for right now, I think it looks okay. These are all like mystery / thriller, not like specifically thriller. And then right next to that, I have my little Heartstopper collection. So with that being said, that does bring us to the end of this little bookshelf reorganization video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Maybe it motivated you to reorganize your shelf, go through and dust everything off. It really does feel good to have the bookshelves like clean and organized. It almost makes me feel like mentally more stable. So very, very glad that I decided to do this. I always love doing this too because I feel like it reminds me of a lot of the books that I have on my shelf that I am really excited to get to. It kind of re-encourages me to read more books from my physical TBR. So even though it is a lot of work, I am glad that I went ahead and reorganized the bookshelf. If you have not already, make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy this video so you don't miss future content from me. Also make sure that you are following me on all my other platforms. But yeah, that is all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in the next one. Bye!